Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Ark. And today, I wanted to. Okay. Today's not really going to be an extinction episode. I'm just kind of playing around, I guess. Today, I wanted to talk about Ark Mobile versus Ark Console. Now, I'm gonna make this clear right off the bat. This isn't gonna be a video, oops. This isn't going to be a video where I just rant about mobile, not having wyverns, not having, Utyrannus, all that. I'm saying a lot. I'm not going to, bash Ark Mobile for not having more maps. Today I'm really looking over what I like about each version. And honestly, console doesn't really have that much over mobile. It's a pretty fair fight. I guess quality of life wise. So I'm gonna start off with console just because it's shorter. And honestly, I was kind of grasping at straws just to make a decent list. So the first thing I have written down for console pros is white icon for dinos. And what I mean by this is that they have their stats, as you can see there for a split second. Stop moving. I lost it. Oh, there it is. What I'm talking about is that little icon there. That. I think it's pretty helpful for seeing if your dino is overweight or not. Especially if you're not riding it. You can just take a glance over and, see. Okay, I need to drop this dino's inventory. But that's more of a, I guess, like, just really grasping at straws kind of thing. I really couldn't think of anything that console had over mobile. The second thing I have for console, though, is damage numbers. What I mean by this is, let's see. We need to find something. That right there. It's being able to see how much damage you do. Now, Ark Mobile has something similar, but not for dinos. It does have it for ranged weapons, so when you shoot something, you can see how much damage a dino has. You see how much it has currently and total health, I think. You don't get to see how much damage you did though, but I mean, if you're good at math, you can just find that out pretty easily. So that would be pretty helpful to have in mobile, but it would probably strain the game quite a bit. So I'm imagining that's why it's not in. Let's see. Reason number 3, breeding tabs. I think this one is feasible, and I know they do, War Drum does have it in their wish list, I guess, features that they do want to add. They just haven't had time for. But if you didn't know, breeding tabs are, if you go into a dino's inventory, you can go down here to show ancestors, and it shows the parents of the dinosaur, or whatever creature you have, and on each side whether they are mutated or not. This one isn't, because it just wasn't born with a mutation, but if it did, then it would show up right there. This is another really just kind of grasping at straws kind of thing, a very quality of life feature. I guess most of them are, but this one isn't, I guess, as important, because if you're a good breeder, then you know what to do in order to see if a dino has a mutation or not. So it's not really, I guess the biggest thing. It's just, it helps a little bit more. So next up is folders. What I mean by folders is, I guess, come on, let's see. You can come into a dino's inventory or your own and create a new folder. Meat. There you go. And it makes a new folder, and you can just store things in there. I'm not really sure how, because I haven't messed with them. Oh, that's how. So, like, it just makes things easier to find on your dinos, and it makes things easier to drop. But on mobile, you can also just search for an item and drop it, so it's not the worst of things. But people have found other uses for folders, not just storing items more neatly. So that's why I think it would be nice. Oh man, I cannot talk today. That's why I think it would be nice to have them. Now, the next thing on my list is no collision. No collision is, I guess, what's a good way of explaining it? I don't really have a good way of explaining it. I guess enabling easier building, kinda, sorta. So what I mean by this is, sometimes when you're trying to build, it doesn't let you place a structure because it's colliding with either the map itself or a different structure. Consoles give you the option to turn this feature off, which then allows you to, I guess, build easier. It's a Strength Isla that I released. Oh, that's an Office. I'll just leave it there for now. Anyways, so I think I have a good example of it over here. So if you notice, these foundations kind of keep getting closer and closer into the ground. Come on. As you can see, they sink deeper into the ground. On mobile, it would eventually reach a point where you wouldn't be able to place the foundation anymore. So I kind of wish that that feature was added into mobile, just so that it would be easier to build a base. Like, that's actually, I think, a good feature that console does have that mobile does not. Alright, so that's it really for God, I'm getting sick. That's really it for console pros. I mean, there is all the dinos, but that's like its own separate video kind of explaining why. I guess in short, if you're one of those people who like goes on the Arc Mobile Discord and just suggests, you know, add wyverns, add this and this, add new maps, but then turn around and go and say, you know, fix the crashing, oh, your game's so buggy, it's always crashing. I guess you don't really understand how limited mobile has to be in order for your device to run. But I guess that's really all I'm gonna say on it. You know, phones don't have the same capabilities that a console does, so that's why it doesn't have the same features. And I guess the second factor to that is that Arc Mobile's been out for only a year, while console and PC have been out for, I think, close to 4. Not really sure. So they obviously are going to have a lot more content. But that doesn't necessarily mean that Arc Mobile is the worst, because honestly, it really isn't. It is, it does have less content, I will give it that, but quality of life features, you know, things that really help out the player, they are there, and there's a lot to go over. This is gonna be the part that I hate, because I'm gonna have to edit in all the clips of what I'm talking about. So the first thing I have is continued building, and what I mean by that is I don't have any structures. I'm just gonna switch it to creative mode for a second, just so I can give myself some structures. But what I'm talking about is that on mobile, when you begin placing things, you can continuously place them. On console, each time you want to place something, you have to press the button. So, for example, here, this is good enough. Oops. Okay, that's one structure placed, and it goes away. Then I have to click the button again, place, button, place, button, place. So that's what I mean by that. It seems like nothing, but it can get frustrating when you're building a lot. It would be nice to only have to press one button. But I'm also kind of lazy, so I guess there's that. Let's see, let's get rid of these. And let's get out of creative mode as well. Let's see, after that I have bombs. And for those of you who don't know, who don't play Ark Mobile, there's items in the game called soothing bombs that they just make it easier to tame dinosaurs. They give a I guess boosted taming percentage, I guess you could say. Yeah, it just increases the rate at which you can tame creatures by a lot. Now, I've found that even playing on boosted rates, it takes quite a while for creatures to tame. So that's really the main reason, just to save time. Let's see. Next is extra decorative items. Ark Mobile has done a really good job with there goes my voice again. With adding things to, I guess you could say, PvE. Me, I'm a person who enjoys PvE because I can just, build my little house, have my dinosaurs, and make everything look nice, and decorative items really do help. I think console does have a few things. For example, they have the taxidermy bases, but it took them, what, 4 years, 3-4 years to actually release something like that. Well, Ark Mobile, they released it pretty early on. Mobile is limited in what it has, though. I do kind of wish I had a little more. But considering console doesn't even have any, I see this as an absolute win. Let's see, next is the Spyglass. So you're probably thinking, the Spyglass, console has a Spyglass. Give me a second, guys. What was I saying? Yeah, the Spyglass. So you're probably thinking, what am I talking about? Console does have a Spyglass. Recently, on mobile, they gave the Spyglass the feature to show torpor. That is honestly a very helpful feature, when taming especially. This kind of coincides with another thing I had, which was being able to view the health on a creature. So, let me get to somewhere safe so I can show this off. There's not really anywhere safe, is there? So basically, on mobile, when you have a creature selected, you can view their health. Their actual numerical health, which is a very good feature. Like, you have no idea how many times I've almost killed things in this game, because I was trying to tame them. The Tyrannus we tamed, actually, I almost killed because I couldn't see the health. And I couldn't see the torpor. Granted, I could have had a magnifying glass, but you have to be very close to the creature to actually be able to use it, and I didn't want to risk it. Let's see. I think... no, never mind. Alright. Next thing on the list is being able to run and shoot at the same time. So, a while back, I was taming Megatheriums, and I think give me a second, guys. I'm dying at the moment. Oh. So, a while back, I was taming a Megatherium, and I was trying to chase after it with a crossbow. Now, every time I would shoot, the game would, I guess, kind of force me to stop in place and shoot, then continue running. I'm pretty sure mobile doesn't do that, and that's a feature that I really wish was in this version, because it would have been extremely helpful. This place is not safe. Alright, let's see, what's next? FOV changes. So FOV, I don't know if you guys have seen me use it in mobile videos, but it lets me, I guess, kind of zoom in. That's really the main reason I want it. It lets me zoom in and out, so I can see closer or I can see further. That's how that works. And it's a pretty useful feature. I use it quite often. If I'm trying to see something far away, I'm like, okay, I can't see this, let me zoom in a bit, and it'll usually be enough to let me see what I want to see. But console doesn't have any of that. I guess it kind of does if you go into orbit camera, but that's about it as far as you can zoom in. Outwards, though, you do get quite a bit. But this is more in camera mode as well. It's not really the same thing as FOV, but it does lead me into my next point for mobile, which is the camera mode. The camera mode in Arc Mobile is way better than what we have here. Oh god. Oh god. Okay, back on topic. The camera mode that we have here on console, it's poop. Like, it really sucks. I showed it off a second ago, and that's like basically everything it has. You can just look around your character. Originally that's what mobile had as well, but not too long ago. I can't exactly remember when. They updated it, and now you can basically, I guess, move around freely. What's a good way? I guess it's as if you were using the scout to take a picture, is the best way of describing it. So it's really good for, you know, thumbnails, and I mean just pictures in general. While I oh crap. While on give me a second. I'm trying to kill this thing. Let me turn the UI back on. Never mind. I guess what do you want? Come on. Oh crap. There we go. What was I saying? Okay, yeah, I was about to show off the orbit camera. Well, on here, you know, this is kind of the best thing we have for thumbnails, especially for, you know, thumbnails involving a dino. I could, you know, get off and I guess do it this way. You know, just turn the HUD off, but I can't really get the dino into... What in the world? There you go. I can't really get the dino into an expressive pose all that easily. While the camera mode on mobile does allow you to, which is pretty much a lifesaver. This one's kind of a me thing. The kibble system, I prefer the version on mobile, the older one, for imprinting. You know, it's either a kibble, a walk, or a hug. And on console, you have to... Oh, that's a giga. The baby's gonna ask you for a bunch of different things that, like, you have to go out and get. How can I get rid of this? I guess you can't. What the hell is hitting me? Yeah. I kinda lost my train of thought. Oh my goodness. Yeah. On console you have to, you're basically a slave to your baby dino. Because it's always asking for something different. Always asking for something different. I wonder if you can erase these, because I kind of do want to. Oh well, I'll figure it out later. Now the next thing, on mobile, the creature inventory is a bit different, and one of the things that differentiates it is the fact that you can view your creature. I guess you can. It's kind of like a 3D orbit view in the creature's inventory. I'll put up something to show it off. You know, you can do a 360, all that, view what the creature looks like. It's pretty nice for being able to spot color mutations, or just colors in general. Again, it's a really nice feature that I can't believe, you know, console doesn't have. Let's see, what's next? I already went over viewing health. I guess the last thing that I found, there's probably more, but these were only the ones that I guess kind of stuck out to me. Stacking resources. What I mean by this is that on mobile, you can stack wood up to like 5,000, I think. I guess think of it as like the super stack mod, I think it's called, from PC. You can stack prime meat up to 2, which doesn't seem like much, but it is, because like it spoils really fast. Meat you can stack up to 40, which is very nice on feeding troughs. I remember having to have to refill it all the time. Give me a second, guys. I remember having to refill it all the time before they made the change to being able to stack it up to 40. It's just very helpful for organizing your things. You know, I find that on here I have to make so many more chests just because I have a ton of thatch, or a ton of thatch, or a ton of fiber. And on mobile, you know, it just stacks up to like 5,000, so it's not really that big of a deal. But I think that's it, you know. Oh crap. Arc Mobile does really have a lot more, what's the word I'm looking for? Not really sure. But it does have a lot of features that make it, I'm not gonna say better, but you know, it would be nice if console had them. That's, I guess, the easiest way to say it. It makes mobile a lot more enjoyable. Now, you know, you're probably thinking, why didn't you go over wyverns and DLCs and all that? And I mean, I pretty much said it in the beginning of the video. Phones and tablets and all that don't have the same capabilities that a console is gonna have, because, you know, consoles, even this console I'm playing on, lags with Arc sometimes. Granted, sometimes it is my fault because I accidentally destroy wall platforms and I crash the game. But I mean, the fact that mobile can even run the game is amazing to me. And I feel like a lot of the complaining I see isn't really justified. You know, I play on an iPhone XR, I think, and the game pretty much runs smoothly on it. If you check out my videos on mobile, you'll see that I'm playing, you know, epic graphics, and I've got a huge base, and it does lag, but I also have like pretty big buildings and over 100 dinosaurs in one spot. So no doubt it's gonna lag, but it doesn't crash. It doesn't crash, and that's even when I'm recording, that it doesn't crash. So I mean, that's pretty incredible. Um, but yeah, I'm not gonna, go over the DLCs and creatures and all that, because they're kind of two completely different games. They're both Ark, but mobile is kind of veering off into its own direction and being its own thing. I feel like it's always kind of been doing that, which I appreciate. And you're probably asking yourself, if you like mobile more, then why haven't you been playing it? There's no easy way to say it. The main reason is because I feel like console has a lot more content to offer, which I'd say it's kind of true. It's really true, honestly. But the main reason is because Ark Mobile is still kind of in its infancy. It's only been out a year, The 1 year anniversary for it was only like a month ago, I think. Let's get off. So I mean, you can't really compare too fairly a game that's been out for like 5 years and a game that's been out for 1. And you're probably thinking to yourself, why doesn't Ark Mobile have the same things if it's if Ark has been out for what, 5 years now? Well, I think that mobile started development 3 years ago, because it's been out for 1 year, so I think 3. And it's based off an older version of the main Ark game. So yeah, I think I've rambled on long enough. Basically, I think that's really all I've got to say. Yeah, I mean, people kind of just need to understand that I guess mobile isn't going to be able to do the same things console can, because it's limited by the capabilities of mobile devices, and it doesn't have as much content as consoles, because it's been out for because consoles and PCs have been out a longer time. Because what they've done in a year is pretty, I'd say pretty good. They've catered to both PvE, I'm talking about mobile here. They've catered to both PvE and PvP. They've added updates for both. They've added dungeons, which they're fun. They're a fun challenge, but I don't really do them myself too often because I'm lazy, mostly. But again, they're a fun challenge. They give you something to work towards, and they're I'd say they're probably better than the bosses in Ark, because you don't know what to expect every week. On console, pretty much you do the same thing for every boss. You breed up an army of dinos, you get yourself a UD, some Daedons if you use them, and then you go fight it over and over and over again. The dungeons in mobile are different, but I'm not going to get too into that. They're just a different layout every week. If you want to see a video on me going over that, just let me know down below. But I think that'll be it for today's video. We went over quite a bit. I'm hoping this actually recorded, because otherwise I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll probably go and cry. But yeah, that'll be it for today. I think I did a pretty good job comparing mobile and console. I try to be as fair as possible, and I think I accomplished that very well. Hopefully I don't get an email later. We're sorry to say, but you've been removed from the Ark Mobile Partner Program. They're pretty cool people over at Wardrobe. Oh, actually, look at this. But anyways, thanks for watching. I guess me rant for however long this video is. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. subscribe, do all those wonderful things you people do. And yeah, have a good day, guys.